Sounds like I got it fixed. So just to kind of kick things off, I'm letting some more people in, you guys. Just to kind of kick things off a little bit, I just want to say it is recorded. So everybody mind your P's and Q's a little bit, not too much.
I guess that goes for Aaron too.
Yeah, that's right, Aaron.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
So we will mind our P's and Q's a little bit. We're going to have Andrea speak with us today, and we'll get started. But I am recording it, so we will send out a replay for anybody and all the folks that are in our SAO database too. So that's good news. Thank you guys, all of you, for joining today. And we so appreciate each one of you. I hope everybody really enjoyed Peter Durand last week. That was a really good meeting, I thought. He did a fabulous job. Good guy. So that was a really good meeting. One thing I would like to say as we get started here too is as we're growing this a little more, it's good if somebody wants to say something or has a comment to make. If you guys would raise your hand either on your screen or just raise your hand, whatever, and I'll keep notes and I keep things going so that we can do that. And thank you. So
I'm so.
pardon me?
My name happened to be so.
I love it. I love it. Where are you from, so?
I'm from Portland. Well, actually, it's West Lynn, Oregon, which is 10 miles from Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
West Lynn. Tell him you went to West Lynn High School.
I went to West Lynn High School, so I know right where you are.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a few years ago, though.
Okay.
Just a few.
Yeah, just a few.
Okay.
So anyway, today we are having Andrea McCauley up here, who is with us, and she's going to talk about H robotics. Now, I hope I'm saying that correctly, Andrea.
You are, yeah.
And she's with the clinical sales team, and she's going to do just a short presentation on what they do for stroke warriors. And I am going to, her and I talked a little bit via email, and it's not a long presentation because, Andrea, one thing I want to do today, I'm going to, move us right along, because one of the things that's really key is for us to hear one another's stories, right, and or, different things. And so today I thought, wouldn't it be awesome if we could come up with some funny stories? And so you guys think amongst yourselves a little bit. I like to give each person, 5 minutes or so that we can all have our own time. And I do watch that pretty close. But I'd love to share some funny stories. Michael Irwin and I were talking earlier today, and that would just be comedy to start with, right? So with that, I just wanted to say that, Andrea, I don't really have a presentation topic or anything. If you can, I would like for you to just kind of take the ball and get us rolling, if you're okay with that.
I am. So it just says that you have to be allow me to share my screen.
Okay.
So I think if you go down to the green button, it says share your screen. It should say allow participants or something to that effect. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. Can everybody see my screen okay?
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Well, Keith and everybody, thank you so much for letting me.
Andrea.
Oh, yeah.
I think what they're seeing are my screen, maybe.
It is.
Yes, it is. The
Yeah.
base program.
Oh, interesting.
I can see all the screens.
Well, stop
I'm
sharing the
sharing.
screen, Keith. Stop sharing the screen, Andrew. Do it.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, Andrew, he's kind of new at this.
No problem. Thank you. Gosh. Well,
I told you
thank-
we get some help, you know. Go ahead.
All right. Well, like Keith was saying, I'm Andrea. I actually grew up in Bend. My parents still live there, so I am definitely a Bend native, but I am now up in this just south of Seattle. But I do work for a company called H Robotics, and we are a startup robotics rehabilitation company. We did actually start out of South Korea about 3 years ago, but we now have a US headquarters in Austin, Texas. And the device we launched is actually called Rebless. The device not only does some continuous passive motion, but it does active, assisted, and resistive exercises as well. The other unique feature about this device is it does provide exercises for 4 joints in one device. So you can actually exercise your knee, your ankle, your wrist, and your elbow all in one device. I'm going to show you a quick short video of what it does. So the
No,
device.
you get your sound muted. You get your sound muted, Andrew.
Yeah. So the device itself does work off this piece right here. That's our motor, or what we call the actuator. And that determines which joint you're going to exercise. So if you place that motor actuator into the upper sockets, that will exercise your elbow and your knee. And if you place that actuator into the lower sockets, that will exercise your ankle and your wrist. When you raise the device up like this, that will indicate that you're going to exercise your lower extremity, and it's laying nice and flat like this. That will exercise your upper extremity.
Oh.
As I was saying before, it does do not only continuous passive motion, but active, assisted, and resistive exercises. So the device is actually only about 2.5 feet long and about 1 foot wide, but it's very adjustable for all your limbs and for everybody coming in. So as you see, when you place your upper extremity into that device, you just align the joints right with the joints of the device. So you can exercise your elbow in what they call supination or palm up, and pronation, or in the neutral position. You can also exercise your wrist with wrist flexion, wrist extension, and what they call radial deviation or thumb up. And then to exercise the lower extremity, you raise that device up, and it's just on, so not only is it about 2.5 feet long and about 1 foot wide, but it actually is just under about 40 pounds. So you can manipulate and maneuver this device for whatever's most comfortable for the patient. So if you're laying on a table and you're most comfortable laying on a table, if you're most comfortable sitting in a chair, even if you're on,
For people you might help.
even if you're, sitting on your couch at home, you can maneuver it forever you feel the most comfortable exercising. The device does work off an app, so you can download it directly to your phone or to your tablet. It is iPhone and Android compatible, so hopefully we're reaching as many people as possible. The other piece we do have is called Readless Clinic. It's a web-based telemedicine portal for clinicians. So the clinicians that you already are working with can monitor your progress and assign exercises to this device. So if you have a physical therapist or occupational therapist that you are working with directly, they can actually assign you exercises that goes directly to your phone or to your tablet. You can perform all those exercises, and then once those exercises are complete, all that information is stored and goes right back to your clinician for easy monitoring. And then you could also, if you had any questions or concerns, or you had an extra pain for that day or something was going on different, you could do a telemedicine visit through that portal as well. So with this device, we're really focusing on your neuro and then ortho population. So we do have this device in a couple neuro clinics, some in Texas, just in Austin and Houston, called Sparrow Rehab, and also in Florida. So we have Brooks Rehabilitation in Florida is using this device as well. So like I said, I want to thank you so much for letting me take your time up today and just introduce this device to you guys. And I wanted to kind of show you what we're doing and what we're hoping to bring to, everybody out there, and hoping, we could make your life get your life back to whatever you want it to be. Yeah. So anyone
Andrea.
have any questions? Yeah.
I know of two people who I think who could benefit from this. So how do they get in touch with you or your company?
So what I will do is I will send Keith an email with kind of all of our electronic brochures.
Okay.
And it will also have at the bottom, my signature will have my direct phone number and email address, so they could contact me directly. And yeah, feel free to give them my name, number, and everything. Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to ask real quick, Andrea, and then we can have some other questions, but are you guys in Central Oregon? Do you have any machines anywhere, where are your machines at?
So right now, no, we don't have any machines in Central Oregon.
Okay.
So what happens is if you did want to use the device, we actually would ship you a device directly. And then, well, whatever you feel comfortable, I would come then and we would do a training with the device once you would get it. Or if you would prefer, we could do a virtual training as well.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Good to know. And is pricing on the website?
So
My hands up, Keith.
Oh, Keith, you. Yeah. Is pricing on the website?
So pricing should be, yes, it is on the website, but the device is about 5,000 MSRP. If you're just to purchase it outright, we do also have subscription models, and so that you can kind of rent out the device monthly if you would prefer as well.
Okay. So it's a monthly,
Yes.
you have a
Yeah.
monthly service as well.
We do have a monthly service as
Actually,
well.
that's a cool thing to hear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other
Yeah.
questions, you guys?
Oh my goodness, Keith, my hand's been raised for 10 minutes.
I haven't even seen it.
Jiminy Crickets. Bandra, my name is Aaron L. I'm CEO and founder of Stroke TV Media. And this machine on government looks pretty amazing. But as usual, most stroke survivors like me, I don't know about you, but $5,000 is out of the question. So no matter how great these robotics look, they're extremely expensive. Is there any type of Medi-Cal or Medicare approval you're working on?
So we are working on it right now. For the device itself, unfortunately, it is not covered by insurance currently. We are so new, but we're still working on it.
Yeah, because I've been up a stroke survivors for about 7 years.
Right.
And I help thousands and thousands of stroke survivors around the world. And I've seen so many disappointments of people that come up about their devices, but they're way up our means of stroke survivors. So good luck. I hope you can get your insurance approvals.
Thank you. Me too. I think that would definitely help everybody a lot more if we could.
Yeah, and once that happens too, Andrea, be sure and let me know, and I'll be sending it out to everybody as well.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, please do.
Arnie, did you have another question?
No, I was just gonna say, please do send that info out.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll stay
I
in
will.
touch for sure. Tony?
I have one question. Do you have before and after results or studies that have been done to show how much improvement there is?
So we do have a study out of South Korea. Actually, it's one of the top hospitals in South Korea. We do have one study that has been published. We are also right now in a study at the University of Houston that's working with stroke survivors there. And so when I send the email, I'll send you that link to show you the work we're doing with stroke survivors at the University of Houston as well.
Great.
Okay. Awesome. Other questions?
Yeah,
I
I
had
have,
Okay, so we're gonna go with and then we're gonna go with Karen.
Okay.
thank you. I call in, not knowing that you guys going to demonstrate a machine, which is good. It benefits the people that, whoever need that, that's fine. But my My question is regarding to, I had the mini stroke about roughly 2 years ago when I came back and trying to get better. And I don't know if, I think I read something about, it's called a brain tire fatigue. And this particular brain tire, I'm trying to explain to my family doctor, and he's thinking, well, it's just a fatigue and, trying to get proper sleep and all that stuff that certainly helped. But I think that the brain tire is different than the kind of tire that like people stay up all night, haven't sleep for a day or two. They're different than that kind of tire. When you have a brain tire attack, it just like your brain, just all the energy is just drained. And my problem is, even I have my say 7.5, 8 hours sleep. A lot of time when I woke up, after I woke up, I watch the TV for could be maybe the morning news or stock market, what have you. And after I watch it a couple hours or less, sometime couple hours, sometime even 30, 40 minutes, even I had a full night's sleep. And then I start, my brain just like drain all the energy. And it feel like to the point, like if you don't go close your eye and get another nap or some kind of just close your eye. If you don't always get lucky and close your eye, you get a nap. Sometimes you can't nap. So just kind of like rest with the eye closed.
So
And that helped. So I wonder if anybody have any kind of same experience and what they do about, that's the question. Thank you.
okay, yeah, 1 second, everybody, just a second. So we are going to, that is a great comment to make. And when Andrea is done, we're going to talk about that as a group because that was a great question, great comment, and that we're going to bring up, and you're going to hear from a lot of survivors on that. So
thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Unless Andrea, you had something to add to that.
No, I don't have anything to add to that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And so let's go ahead and ask Andrea any other questions we have, and then we're going to move on. We're going to do some other stuff together here. So any other questions for Andrea?
Keith, I have a comment. This is Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Andrea, if we know of rehabilitation clinics that might benefit from this and that of their patients, what would be the best way for us to go about getting you in touch with them?
Just have them give me a call directly. That would be perfect. Yeah. And I can talk with them directly.
Hey, Lonnie, I'm thinking in terms of Spark Rehab.
Yeah, I would love you to connect them with Spark, Jim.
Did you say
That would-
Spark as an SPARK?
Yeah.
Spark, is that in Bend?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
I
actually
can
meeting
see
with them.
Steve shaking his head.
Oh, it's a great place. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I have
Yeah.
and I have a meeting with them Thursday as well. So I could definitely talk to you and introduce Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
I would love that. Thank you.
But
Yeah.
wait,
Andrea.
1 second, Arnie. 1 second.
Okay,
Arnie.
okay.
I didn't give Karen a chance, and then we'll come back to you, buddy.
I just had a quick thought regarding the cost of this equipment and wondering if there's a way that several people who could benefit from it could go together and buy one machine, but that's the question of where would it be located? Is it portable to go from house to house? Could we do a fundraiser? And that can be explored later, but I just thought, yeah, for an individual, it's a lot, but maybe a group effort might get it to this area. So, or another area where people are.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. And it is portable. So it's just under about 40 pounds. Like I actually have a big kind of rolling case. It doesn't come with that, but it is portable and you could move it from house to house if you want to. And then the app is free. So anytime anyone downloads, it's all their information. So if you were saying using this, you wouldn't see everybody else's information. It's all private onto your own app. So even if you were sharing one device, it's okay because you wouldn't see everybody else's information.
Okay.
That was brilliant, Karen. That was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that was a great
We
question.
might be
Good
able
job.
to develop something like, rather than just the library started for SAO, maybe there could be an equipment place, loan,
Well,
that kind of
let
thing.
me ask one question. I'm sorry, Keith.
Well, Arnie's up next, Aaron. Keep your
Go ahead.
question, write your
Let
question
Aaron
down.
go.
Okay,
Let
he
Aaron
said
go.
I can't, Keith, so I'm sorry. Andrew, I'm curious, if we did do what Karen suggests, and get three of us together and go in on this,
Mhm.
how long would each person have to keep it to find, get used to get benefits out of it?
Good question.
Yeah, so you would probably want to use it at least a few times a week. So, it would, like you said, the hardest part would probably be finding a central location where everybody could access it a couple times a week. That might be, or if you wanted to say, let one person have it for a month and just see how they, how they kind of developed from it and if it was working for them. So
Yeah,
there's
like
kind of a couple different options.
Karen, get a hold of me. Would you want to talk to you from a Stroke TV media point of view? And I think it's something that definitely I want to be involved with.
Okay.
I'll get you guys connected.
Thank you, Keith.
And let me just make a note. Any other questions for Andrea? Are we good? Michael, did you have a question or you?
I just had a comment, Keith.
Arnie, go ahead.
Hey, Andrea,
Yeah.
the place that I went to therapy after my stroke, I think they could really benefit from this. And it was called the Day Institute in St. Louis.
Day Institute. Oh, thank you.
It's DAY.
Okay. In St. Louis.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
What Arnie is time, I guess, Andrea, if you get one of these in every stroke hospice, watch your one location. You got to be your marketing team has got to be working on that.
That's what we're hoping. Yeah, we're hoping to get into more, like you said, some good neuro clinics, and yeah, so we're trying.
Awesome.
In fact,
hey, Aaron, you ought to buy one and invest in it, and then have people come to your place, your house, and you can pay for like $50 an hour.
Honey, I think you're confused. Stroke TV media has about as many as you do. I just seem big. It's just me. My team consists of me, myself, and I. We are impacting thousands and thousands of stroke survivors around the world. I'm very happy, but we're tiny. I'm down. It's just me, honey.
Yeah. All right, guys. So any other questions for Andrea? Andrea, you are welcome to hang out and listen if you like, or you can exit. It's up to you.
Okay.
But I really appreciate what you did and sharing that. And I'll make sure that everybody gets the information as we send out the recording too, so that they can touch base with you if you're okay with that.
Oh, absolutely. Please feel free. You can contact me directly. And since it's on recording, I'll just say my phone number directly is 206-305-3807. So you can contact me directly. But like I said, I will email Keith.
Can you say that again? You talk too fast. I couldn't write that fast.
Oh, yeah, no problem. It's 206-305-3807. And that will get directly to me.
Okay.
And then I will also send Keith a follow-up email. And then in my signature at the bottom, it will have, you'll have my direct email, that phone number, and send out, kind of our brochures, our electronic brochures, so you guys can take a look at it, and a link to a video and a link to that article from the University of Houston.
Awesome.
Great, Andrea,
Thank
can
you,
you put a link to your LinkedIn account, your LinkedIn profile in the chat?
Oh,
please.
You guys know how to do this more than I do.
I use LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn. So if you could link your LinkedIn profile.
Okay. I will. Let me see if I can do that.
Okay.
Okay, I'll try.
So,
I'll try to do that.
And in worst case scenario, you get it to me and I'll be sure and send it out to everybody too.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you letting me come on so much and letting me speak to you guys.
Thanks so much. We appreciate having you. And it's
Have
been
a great rest of your day.
You too, Andrea. Thanks. Okay, so that was great, by the way. But I wanted to move into something today that we haven't done. Gosh, I can't remember if we have or not. And Lanae kind of gave me the idea, and then I was talking to Michael Irwin. earlier today. And so what I'd like to do is talk about maybe some funny stories, something that would enlighten people. Now, before we move into that, so be thinking about that, I want to address what So had to say and make sure that we are helping him and talking about the brain fatigue, being tired. And so I'm going to kind of kick off just real quick for you my own thoughts on that. So I had a stroke 12 years ago. It's been 12 years since I had my stroke. And especially at first, it was very similar to what you're saying. I slept a lot of the time. I won't go into much detail, but I had a pretty good sized business and I ended up losing my business because I couldn't participate for many reasons. And anyway, so having said that, it does get better. You have to, well, you've got to be willing to go through these motions. And one thing I would like to say, and then we can let everybody else argue or say what they'd like. Don't push too hard on it. If you need to take a nap, you got to take a nap, and you can't get too down on yourself. Your brain is healing. It takes time for that healing to happen. And over time, it will get better. A lot of times, stroke survivors push themselves and they can push too hard. And the next thing you know, you're going backwards. So keep at it. Now, I want to hear from everybody else on this too. So Bev, why don't you start us off, would you please?
Sure. For me, my first stroke was in 1999. And so I've been a warrior for a long time. My second stroke was in 2000. The first 5 years I had that fatigue. It felt like I hit a brick wall and I couldn't do anything after that. I was working 12, 14-hour days, 6 days a week. And that was very difficult. So I would take a half an hour afternoon nap every day, no matter what. I just had to, because otherwise I would run out of steam. And I knew by the end of the day that I would be so exhausted that I would just literally fall into bed. But it was like the curtain went down, and you couldn't get through it. But after the 5th year, I started to feel like I got whole again. But it took 5 years, and I was doing rehab and everything on my own and trying as hard as I could to continue to work full time. And I did.
Yeah, thank you so much. Who else hasn't spoke yet that wants to talk?
Are you really going to pay any attention to me with my hand up? I'm curious.
I don't see your hand, but Aaron, I want to give everybody a chance to talk too, buddy. So
you not see your digital hand?
Oh no, I do, but it's in the white. I couldn't see it. I swear to you.
Just see no, Keith. What
now I see it. Now I see it. You go ahead.
Digital hand will.
I see it
always go up on screen first.
I see it now. I'll pay attention to it. So you go ahead, and then Lanae is on deck.
Well, I think it's really important that So knows. Number one, don't compare your stroke with other people. Other people heal. Every stroke survivor is different. The way they react, the way their brain is injured. So be careful comparing yourself to other people's recovery. Secondly, brain fatigue is so common in our group. I can look at everybody. I don't need them to tell me. I can guarantee they've experienced it. If they have a stroke, they've experienced it. So I know. I forgot what I was going to say. There you go. Brain fatigue.
Hey, Keith, when Aaron's done.
Lanae's up, and then Arnie's up. Lanae, then Arnie.
Thank you, Keith. I'll make a couple of really quick comments. Stroke fatigue is real. I think we all live with it. But I really want to urge all of you to consider getting a sleep test. I know we've talked about this before, but I will use my own example very quickly. My stroke was 7 years ago. I was sleep tested only 2 years ago. That was because I asked my primary care. I said, I believe I have a sleep apnea condition that is causing me to be so tired. I went in, I was tested at a traditional sleep study, and sure enough, I had severe sleep apnea. I can tell you without doubt, if I did not sleep, now that I am sleeping with a CPAP or a BiPAP, which is a machine that goes over your face, my energy is much, much better. I cannot tell you how much better I feel because of this sleep PAP
Awesome.
or CPAP. So I just urge all of you, think about getting a sleep study. Women always think I don't have sleep apnea. I was guilty of that. And again, I had severe sleep apnea. So that may be something I would really encourage you to ask for.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Lonnie. So go ahead.
Okay, my situation is I know that the other guy earlier said something about, or the gal, whatever, took 5 years, that got better and all that stuff there. And amazingly, you're still be able to work 12 hours a day. I could not do that. What happened, I'm lucky that I'm retired and my son takes good care of me. And I'm able to walk and talk and all that. The only problem with that is my symptom is like, okay, when I first got out, it was like brain tire and all that. And doctor said you will get better and all that stuff there and all that. And my memory was not very good and all that. A lot of people experience that. So it got better. But problem, what I feel like now is, okay, I can be good, reasonably good, that for maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then this thing relapsed it again. Now it's a feel real tired. I have to watch TV for half hour. I gotta lay down on the couch, close my eye. If I'm lucky, I sleep, whatever. If I'm not be able to sleep, I close my eye for half hour, open up, and I got recharged. But the only thing I can do is maybe I watch TV again or watch my emails or something like that. I could be going there for like 20, 25 minutes. That thing happened again. So this thing is like, so far recently, this last few weeks didn't get any better. But used to be like 1 month was okay. Then the symptom reoccurring, and then have this tire and all that thing that I just described, that you cannot watch TV more than 30, 40 minutes, and you got like, boom, all the energy is gone. You feel almost like you want to kind of vomit. It's so tired. It's a weird feeling. And you tell your doctor, he said, well, fatigue is one of the things after stroke, but it isn't your normal fatigue. It isn't like that your normal day that you didn't sleep for 30 hours, that kind of tired. This is a strange kind, and it will come and it go, and it come back 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then good for 3, 4, 5 weeks, and then it come again. And this is probably my, I don't know, the 6, 7 times that come and go. So I just wonder if anybody have that experience, and if they do, is it what method did they use, or doctor, what it is to help? That's it. That's the question. Thank you.
Okay, so
Okay.
I had extreme, it was debilitating mental fatigue. I was a vegetable for 6 months after I got home. And I know exactly what you're talking about. My left eye is I will have severe pain. I can feel the tension back here behind my left eye. And if I close, and all of a sudden I would start getting very, very tired from just my left eye was being strained. And if I just sat in a chair for 30 minutes, close my left eye, the fatigue would come back. The fatigue would go away just for a little bit. But one thing Beverly mentioned at one of our earlier meetings, it could have been months ago, is that she would walk and walk and walk. I could not do that. my doctor put me on a stimulant, and basically it saved my life because it saved my marriage. I would get up in the morning and I would get into a chair or my recliner, and I'd be a vegetable all day. I didn't have the strength or urge or the willingness to even get up and get my own drink of water. I would ask my wife to get me a drink of water. I mean, I just didn't have the endurance or the will to get out of my chair just to go get a drink of water because I was so mentally fatigued that I couldn't think.
Well,
Arnie-
my fatigue, I was fortunate when I got out, I was able to walk, talk, and eat.
Right.
I think one of the main thing about, I don't know what it is maybe the neural in the eye, when you use that, it's caused the fatigue. Maybe the brain process, the vision part.
Right.
As far as I get up and I can go out and do an hour of yard work, no problem. I go into training every day because I had the atrophy on my leg from an accident. But I'm a 140-pound person, and my those what they call hip induction, I can actually press 140 pounds with my leg. So physically, I have energy, but I just don't have the brain energy. When I look at TV, when I look at email, it eats me up like no time.
So
I cannot look at my emails for more than 30-40 minutes a day because otherwise I'm done. I'm spent.
Yeah, I mean,
I
the common thing.
wait. I want to give Jim Patterson a chance to talk. He's had his hand raised for a long time. And then Adam, you're up after that.
So you might see my my background. That is brain fog right there. And because of chronic fatigue, after my stroke in July of 2020, I was unable to work. One of the things that really helped me and helps me today, my physical therapist suggested that the fatigue can be managed along with your routine. So one of the routines that I've gotten into is making sure when I get up in the morning, I am forcing myself to do physical activity, a walk, a pretty good walk, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I come back and take B12 vitamin, and I've started taking super beets. That's really helped my energy. The one thing I want to say about TV and computer, consider getting blue light glasses, because one of the issues is that when we get stuck watching too much TV, we get attached to our computers too much. Think about our eyes and our vision processing everything that it sees. That takes up a lot of brain power. The other thing is that I don't know if you're light sensitive. Does light have a tendency to make you feel a bit foggy?
No.
Okay. I've found that if I'm outside, I wear sunglasses, and that really helps. I feel, especially on my walks, I actually feel like I can go a little bit further because I feel a bit more energy. I also want to say that Lonnie is exactly right about the CPAP and the sleep test. Once I made a commitment to wear my mask the way it's designed to be worn at night, the more I use that machine, the less fatigue I feel in the morning, and I feel I can go a little bit longer. But routine is a big deal.
You say your eye machine? What's a machine? Is it just a cover thing, right? Like a kind of like a.
Well, the CPAP covers your nose and mouth and actually helps you with respiration. It pumps oxygen into your system so that if all of a sudden, as a result of snoring, sleep apnea, you're gasping for air, it pumps oxygen into your body, which helps you breathe, which helps you. It also helps in the event that you have blood clots that have built up in the upper chamber of your heart. It helps with, in general, it just helps you feel much more rested.
Could you post that machine? The name of that machine, please?
It's a Cpap machine. CPAP.
PAP.
CPAP.
I didn't get that. It's echo.
C as in cat.
Uh-huh.
PAP.
CAT, cat, just like an animal.
Yeah, cat. PAP. PAP.
Got it.
This is something that would be prescribed to you by a sleep doctor.
Okay.
Which is one of the, have you had a sleep test done? So
no, I never thought I have a sleep issue. I sleep very easy and it seemed like that I'm okay. Sleep at least the first 5-6 hours until I need to go to the bathroom.
You
but
don't.
The problem is in between in the morning, anytime I use my eye, it tends to, like you said, process and it suck up all the energy to the point like you're drained, like, ow.
Real quick.
I can tell you that from a recent lecture we had at SAO by Dr. Scheer, 50% or more of stroke warriors have sleep apnea. They may not have had it before their stroke, but they definitely have it after. And I think the percentage is actually much higher. Tony, do you want to comment on that?
I'm not sure what the percentage is, but I think that sleep apnea is much more common. Even among people who have not had a stroke, you find the fatigue and then when they have the Cpap machine, they suddenly have more energy. And you have to have a sleep physician to regulate that and watch how it works. And they give you something at home that they can monitor from their office to tell whether or not it's working. So I think everyone should have a sleep study.
So one question is, once your doctor found out that you do have that sleeping issue, how do you make you sleep better? They give you more sleepy pills, they knock you out? How do you do that?
They give you the machine and they teach you how to wear it. And what it does is it forces pressure in, because a lot of times sleep apnea, you're not breathing deeply enough or you're not exhaling the CO2. So this regulates everything.
Okay.
And they will teach you how to do it. Your doctor, when they order it, will teach you.
Very, very good. Wait 1 second, please. So Adam is up and then Michael.
No, I'm not.
Thanks.
Okay, Adam, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree, and I thought Jim made a lot of good comments. With what So was saying, the common theme that I heard him saying is when he woke up, he was watching TV or going and checking email. So it sounds like you're staring at this like a screen. So instead of maybe looking at like an LED screen or something like that, get up and take a walk or do some activity. I like that idea, because the common theme you kept saying was watching TV. So it sounds like you're just staring at a screen, which even a person without a stroke, that can make you lazy and tired.
Right.
And also I like the idea of blue light glasses.
I can only watch TV for so long, and then I gotta get up and move around because I can tell my eyes are starting to hurt. I can tell they're being strained, and I start getting tired.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotten better over time, but I used to not be able to watch TV at all. It just like the quick moving lights and sound. I was very sensitive to stimulation, so that could be it as well.
Right. Exactly. Good point.
Yep.
Good point from everybody, actually. And the CPAP situation, that is something you're definitely going to want to follow up with. So it was great, Lane, and everybody who joined in that. That's Tony and everybody.
Lane, thank you for that. I've never had a sleep study done because I always felt I slept good, but I'm going to have one done.
Yeah, and that was actually the same with me, Arnie. If you would have told me that I needed a CPAP, I would have argued with you till the cows came home. And then I finally agreed to go have a study, and it literally changed my life.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Lane, my problem is I've been on this stimulant for so long that I don't know how my body would react when I go off of it. because I mean, that's what gets me out of my chair during, and that's what keeps me going during the day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what I would do without that stimulant. You know, would I go back to being a vegetable during the day? But I do, like Beverly says, I do walk every night and for a long distance.
Good.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And one more thing,
I'm kind of worried about.
One more thing I want people to know before I forget. Recently, I look at some of the things pop up in the computer. They said honey. It's at a lot of things good about honey that people have bring issues. So I just brought it up in case somebody want to look into it. Honey, just a honey, 1 spoon a day, every day. There you go.
Huh. Interesting. Chris, you're up.
Okay. You can actually, if you have sleep apnea, you stop breathing during the night. What happens is your body is trying to wake you up and your heart rate increases, your pressure increases, and guess what? You can have a stroke with untreated apnea.
Absolutely.
So that's something you should look into. But I think one of the things is there's only so much energy you have for anyone. After a stroke, your total energy is reduced. And if you try to do a lot of physical movements, you will get neurologically tired long before you become physically tired. So given that you said you're walking well and don't have those issues, this is a purely cognitive issue. And I think you should just, when you become tired with your eyes, close your eyes for 1 minute. You don't have to do it for 20, just for a minute, and see if you have your energy back. And that might give you a better idea that it's in that neurological component rather than a sleep apnea fatigue.
Thank you. And one thing I know most everybody, Chris, help me out here. Are you a stroke survivor? Tell me more about yourself, please.
Okay, my name is Chris. I had a stroke nearly 6 years ago. It was a pretty severe stroke, and I have come back reasonably well. I was going to you mentioned a funny story. I'll just mention it now. Particularly the first 2 years, I had dysarthria, which is the inability to control the muscles of the throat and face. So I would say, as the day went on, my fatigue showed up like I was drinking. So I would say, oh, I'm 2 beers in. I was 4 beers in. I'm 11 beers in. You couldn't hear me. And it had nothing to do with my cognitive ability. It was just that I was tired. So that's what I used to say. I'm 11 beers in. That's why you can't understand me.
I got it. Well, thank
And
you.
by the way, I'm in North Carolina. I heard about your group through Michael and Mo. So
awesome.
My first time attending. So
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's great having you on here, bud. And I hope
I'm in South
goes
Carolina.
well. What was that?
I was just saying I'm in South Carolina, so not too far.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Bev, aren't you in North Carolina?
Hey, Keith, the only comment I have is.
One sec. Bev?
Yes, I'm in Lenore,
Okay.
North Carolina. Yeah.
Arnie, go ahead.
You know, my mental fatigue, it took over my body. I couldn't even get out of my chair. It was so bad. And since I've been on this stimulant, that's what keeps me going during the day. You know, I don't know what my life would be like without this stimulant. You know, all I can say is, like Beverly says, I walk every night and I walk a good long distance to get my heart rate up and get my oxygen moving. But I'm kind of worried about what my body would do when I come off this stimulant.
Why would you have to come off?
Well, I just over time, me personally, I don't like being on medicine. But, you know, I don't want to be, I'm on several medicines now that, you know, I don't want to be on the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to be independent of medicine and live try to live a normal life without medicine
So
as
Arnie,
much as I can.
two quick questions, and I apologize. I've been watching everything. One, and keep these quick if you can. One, when was your stroke?
It's funny. I put out.
Arnie, how many years ago was your stroke?
March of 2020.
Wait.
Charge.
March
Say
of
again,
2020,
Arnie.
Keith.
2020?
March of 2020.
Thank you. Sorry about that, bud. And then what was the stimulant?
It's kind of like, you know, I don't want to say it's an upper, but it just kind of keeps your energy going.
Okay. All right.
But
Well, I have my own.
that's what gets me through the day.
Mm-hmm.
It really does.
Oh, what exactly are you, did the doctor prescribe?
It's called Modafinil. And that's all. It's just a stimulant. And my daughter uses it because she has depression and stuff like that. And that's what it helped get her through the day. But that's what it is, Chris. It's called Modafinil. Modafinil.
Yeah, Arnie, I'm going to say something, and I want you to, this is just a little bit of me and my story, but I took an antidepressant and I took some other stuff for quite a few years. And I finally made the choice to get off of those. And I did it over time. I didn't do it, willy-nilly. But I talked to my doctor and I weaned myself off of that. And I felt like you. I didn't want to be on that medication for too long. And I've been off of it for years. And anyway, I just want to encourage you. Do you have a personal private care doctor that cares about you, correct?
Yes.
I would have a chat with them, that's all. And that's my own opinion. So
okay, I will.
Yeah.
And I have a good neurologist, and I'm also seeing a psychiatrist who manages my prescriptions.
Yeah.
So I got some good doctors. I really do.
Well, talk to them about it, bud.
Okay, I will.
Yeah. We're coming up against time. That went by in a hurry. Who's got something else? Anyone? Michael.
I thought this was a very good meeting, guys. I really do. And ladies.
Michael.
Something I can bring up that you received, Keith. If you will make all these stroke warriors aware that their care partners, we are having that support group for them. It is October the 19th. Keith has the flyer on it.
I'll send everything out, Michael. I promise. I'll put it in our blanket thing.
Okay. And
Mike, that looks great.
One other thing, Mo had to go, but Mo Jones was on here. She is also, Believe Foundation is going to host a support group, but it's only going to be once a quarter. It is going to be called Happy Hour. It's going to be about 5 o'clock, and it's everybody can have drinks if they want, but it is going to be comedy to start with. And so we'll see how it goes, but I'll just tease you a little bit. It's all going to be funny. And she is working on it. And I hope that Keith didn't get too far because she was going to kill me if y'all started having too many funnies.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I got no. So situation was definitely one of a priority.
And so we hope to have just a lot of fun. It's going to be a Zoom. It's going to be a lot of Carolina and you guys, but we'll let you know when it's going to be. We see it somewhere in the middle of February. I'm not February, middle of November.
Well, that sounds awesome, bud. And what we'll do is I'm going to ask you, Michael. I got the one flyer, but send me all the stuff on the support group too,
Yes.
so I can share it with everybody.
I will.
You know, listen, real quick. I know we're running up against it. I want to make sure that I say thank you to everybody so much. You know, these meetings are a little difficult at times because we're all stroke survivors and we have to, you know, figure out how to communicate with one another and all that. I so appreciate having everybody on here because these topics that come up are real. We need to talk about this stuff.
They're very helpful.
Yeah, we got to have a
very
group
helpful.
of us here to coexist with. And a lot of times spouses, and I love them, all the caregivers are fantastic, but you know, we are our own. I mean, we've gone through the stroke, and it's so nice to have others who have gone through it share their stories and what's going on. And I just wanted to share that from my heart today because you guys are fabulous, all of you, and I appreciate all of you so much. Couple quick things. If anybody has any question about who we are or whatever, Chris, you might look up strokeawareness.org, strokeawareness.org. For anybody who wants to look at what we're up to. We got a walk and wheelathon that's really cool. And listen, you can sponsor without being there. I've asked a lot of my friends and people to sponsor me that aren't even around, but we're trying to raise some money because we are an organization that needs money to continue to do what we do and to help the stroke community both before pre-stroke and after post-stroke. We do a ton. So we're very proud of what we do. Last, Adam, wasn't your stroke this month, buddy?
You know, not this month, but my anniversary, yes.
Your stroke anniversary.
Stroke anniversary, yeah. October 3rd was my 1 year stroke anniversary.
Well, that's this month, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just saying I didn't have you said my stroke was this month. I'm saying my anniversary is.
Well, somebody's got to keep me in line here. Thank you. But yeah, that's awesome. Well, happy stroke anniversary for you. Anybody else Michael, go ahead.
I may be mistaken, but is Joanne, Chris, is that your wife?
Joanne?
Yes, Joanne is my wife.
Oh,
that is somebody else new for you.
Very good, Joanne. Welcome.
She's on her way home from work and she wanted to participate and listen in. You know, it's always good to meet other people who have survived stroke and have been a caregiver. I like to say that the stroke survivor is ground zero of an explosion, but the people around you are also severely affected.
Absolutely.
Your family, and further out, the further rings, your friends, your neighbors, they are impacted. So by our recovery, we improve, but we also support. And there she is, my lovely wife.
Hi, Joanne. We appreciate you. Real quick, I wanted to say this too. Chris, thank you for that. On our next meeting is October 25th. I want to have everybody bring their caregivers, please, or as many as we can, because we're having Abby Simon speak, and she deals a lot with caregivers and coaches them, and she's a speech language pathologist. She's a really sharp gal. Don't tell her I said that. But she's really sharp, and I'd love to have people bring their caregivers because it's going to be a really good meeting. So yes, Michael.
The caregivers can see Abby. She's going to host the support group the 19th.
Yeah, and I'll send that out as well, buddy. But she's speaking for us,
Yes, yes.
and I don't want to limit caregivers to come listen to some of the stroke survivors as well. So, yeah. All right, everybody good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys
Just want
so
to
much.
say go Yankees tonight.
Oh, no.
He couldn't help himself. Sounds good, Adam. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see y'all.
Hey, have a
Thank you
good
so
evening.
much.
Thank you, Keith.
Hi, Keith.
Yeah.
Guys.
Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
Keith.
Awesome session, everyone.